So here we continue to look at that DMV AV disengagement report, and this chart showing miles driven per manufacturer in 2022. So as we look at all of the manufacturers that currently have one of the 3 DMV permits, these manufacturers combined for nearly 5.1 million miles driven in 2022, nearly a third more than in 2021. So really a testament to some of the testing and deployment that's currently going on in the state of California. But again, the story continues to be around some of our perceived leaders in the AV space, with most miles driven by Waymo just above 2.9 million miles, while Cruise and Zoox lagged pretty far behind that number at about 863,000 and 552,000 miles respectively. But interestingly, what is not captured in just a miles driven statistic, Cruise actually led all manufacturers in driverless miles driven at just above 546,000 miles, while Waymo was in a distant second in this driverless miles driven category at just above 50,000. So interesting statistics here as we look at all the involvement from the major AV players in the state of California. And lastly here, when it comes to the DMV disengagement report, we look at average miles driven per disengagement in 2022. Main message being around consistent performance. Now there are caveats in all of this. The more miles driven per disengagement, each of these mobility providers can have different requirements when it comes to when to disengage. Some may be more lenient about delaying a disengagement, while others may be more aggressive in disengaging at any potential conflict. And also considering the environment driven, where if we're in a densely populated area of the city, or a new area of a city that the vehicle is not quite as familiar with, we might see a higher rate of disengagement than testing on an open highway. But nonetheless, the message being how important that consistent performance will be for these commercial AV deployments when passengers are in the vehicle, and using these instead of a traditional Uber or a traditional taxi.